Imagine being a kid from Atlanta, Georgia, with a dream to impact the world being your true self. You grow up under the dynamic of a creative father and a business-savvy mother. You're influenced early by the grace of the music industry in every different genre, even being named after the Miles Davis. You start dropping music on SoundCloud in high school, but find yourself going to college as soon as you graduate. You have the worst time of your life, never feeling truly accepted, and end up dropping out after only 1 year. You bet all the chips on yourself, and a year later you sign a multi-million-dollar deal to Quality Control Music. Today, you're one of the most influential artists in the world, but not only in music, but fashion and multiple different mediums. Multi-platinum and gold certified, Grammy nominated, and a true inspiration to the world that you can make it truly being yourself. My name is VicBlends, and this is DeepCut with Lil Yachty.
How you doing, Vic?
Brother, man, welcome to the shop, man.
Likewise. It's so fancy.
Ah, thank you, bro. Fancy gloves, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, I try.
All right, how do you get your hair cut?
I usually just kind of fade the sides and back and down lineup. Yeah, it's so crazy, right? I'm always looking at things for inspiration, and I was looking at some 90s videos.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, in the 90s and early 2000s, a big thing was bald heads. You know, like in hip-hop.
What? What you mean bald? Who was rocking bald heads in the 90s?
In the 90s in hip-hop, DMX had a bald head.
But do you think it wasn't by choice?
No, for sure. The Fat Five, Michigan, they were all wearing bald heads. Kilo Ali had a bald head. Like,
Bro, I don't think DMX was bald by choice.
Well, maybe not DMX, but a lot of people, a lot of actors, a lot of black people wore low Caesars, and they had very low Caesars and bald heads in the 90s. I'm telling you, look it up, you'll see. Not everyone, but a lot of people did, and it just got me to thinking, man. It's a certain look. It's a real like 90s look. You know, my plan always like braids, right? And then in my head, I was gonna say, when my braids got to a certain length, I would lock them into dreads. But for some reason, my braids have been at the same length for like 3 years.
Do you ever think you'll restart and get the full head, no fade?
I've thought about it many times.
You low-key got the sky top.
But no, I do, because I had a box in high school. I had a box in 9th grade, flat top. I thought about just growing out the rest of my head and then like getting it to a length where I could just like use extensions until my hair grew. I was like, that's too much work. And then
usually if you had locks, you could just cut half of them off and you could attach them to whatever will grow on the sides.
That's crazy. I never thought of that. But I was like, I was just gonna get freeform dreads. You know, my dad has them. Well, he turned them to wicks, but he had freeform dreads. And I was like, because I felt like if I lock my hair, then it start growing again. For some reason, my hair grows fast, but it's like, I think it's just because it's the top of my head, like.
I feel like if you had full head of hair and you got like braids on the side, it'd be super hard.
It would.
I don't think locks would be the move on you.
Well, the plan was if my braids got too long, because I didn't want to have braids down my back. You know, like that's weird. I've had long braids, but my hair has never grown. It's stayed at the same length. So that plan really kind of faded itself out. And I was like, I just wanted to try like Basquiat dreads before I was ever done with hair. No time soon.
You would have him like Cole?
Maybe. I don't know.
Cole got Basquiat.
Yeah, he does, but it's just so long. It's
joint.
just so long that it is. Yeah, but I don't know. I just wanted to try it before I ever cut my hair. But I was like, when I did cut my hair, I would cut it all off.
Just bring the bald back from the 90s.
I am. I'm telling you. When I
right
get
now?
No. When I'm like 30, because I can't have beads in my head at like 30 something.
Oh, yes, you can.
I mean, you could do whatever you want, but I feel like in my own world, like I'll be like, man, it's time to.
What age you supposed to be bald at? Are you ever supposed to be bald?
You're supposed to be bald at 50. You're supposed to be, but I'm going to go and be bald. I'm gonna be the first young person to go be bald and make it cool. And I know people laughing at it. They're gonna laugh at it, but I've always.
You calling the future?
I just do what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know, people laughed at me when I first put beads in my head in high school.
Yeah.
They was like, that's girls supposed to be, little kids, and it was funny. And then when I dyed it red, everyone was like, you're psychotic. Because at the time in 2014, 2013, no men had fully red hair.
Yeah.
Like at the time, people had like whiz patches, like a little blonde patch.
Whiz patch went crazy.
That took over the world.
I damn near wanted a whiz patch. I can't.
Which would have been absurd if you
It would have
had
been
that.
absurd.
It would have been absolutely absurd.
Who didn't want a whiz patch though?
Exactly.
Did you have a
though.
whiz patch?
I never had a whiz patch. I went red. You know what I'm saying? Because I hated doing things everyone did. So like, at the time when I went to college, people thought I was insane for having red hair with braids and beads. It was like he must be gay or like he's
Why?
just.
Why did you choose red?
So I'll tell you what happened. I just told this story to somebody, and I forgot about this memory it unlocked. What happened was my mom was like, she lost her job, and so like I wanted to get a job to help out in high school, right? Just to like be able to take care of myself. So I applied for McDonald's, right? And I got a call for an interview. And my mom is a serious businesswoman, like she's a real serious.
What did she do?
Well, before she got laid off, she was a pharmaceutical sales rep, which meant like for private offices. So basically what that meant is that she worked for companies, and she went into the offices all over Georgia, Tennessee, and South Carolina, North Carolina, and she sold medicine, like dermaceutical medicines to private offices, like skin creams and shit like that. So but she had many jobs, but that was what she did at the time, and so she just was a business savvy lady. So basically she was like, okay, cool, you got a job. But at the time, before I had red hair, I had really long braids, like long black braids.
Down your back?
In high school, not down my back, but down my neck, like in high school. And she's like, you can't go in there with all that hair. Like, that's not professional. You gotta cut it. So she made me cut my hair. I was so sad. I got the job. First day I walk in, everyone has hair. Everyone has dreads and braids and colored hair. And I'm like, Mom, you made me cut my hair. It's McDonald's. Everyone has fucking hair.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't fucking law school. And so I was sad, and she felt bad that she made me cut my hair. And she came up with the idea. She's like, you know what? Because my hair was long because it was different. I like being different. She was like, you know what? We should dye it red. And that's where that story came from. So at first I had low hair, and it was red, and it grew up and grew out, and the rest was history, and that's where it came from.
Yeah, that makes me think of a wild memory I had, because you say your mom made you cut your hair. I remember I used to live in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Germany, but I was in the Army. So I came to North Carolina when I was in 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And it was first time in middle school, so I already knew it was gonna be different.
Right.
And then they had a uniform.
Okay, yeah.
So it was like a uniform school.
We had that
So my
too.
mom from Russia, she like real strict Russian mom. And we had to wear uniform shoes that said all black shoes. So my mom ended up buying me like some church shoes. Like some like loafer church shoes, crazy.
Yeah.
Thinking it's like one adult, like some Russian type uniform schools.
Yeah.
So I go to school with the church shoes on, and I'll never forget, first day, bro, this dude named Jabril Myers. It was the first time I ever got roasted in my life like this. Fried me up in the computer class, and he said, shut the hell up with them church shoes on. And the whole class laughed. And man, bad memory let my mom kind of force me to do something.
Yeah. Did you say anything to her?
Oh, I didn't never wear them again.
Oh, did she understand?
Because I went to school and everybody had Nikes on, like just all black Nikes
Did
and
she
Forces.
understand?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I mean, once I
cool.
came home sad, like for sure. But,
That's cool. That's cool.
Earlier you said you always did your own thing.
Yeah,
And,
facts.
that was something I always admired about you. I graduated 2017, so watching you blow up 2015, 16, 17, it was inspiring to see you take a really new approach into the industry at a time when everything was really street and hard.
Yeah.
And you really stuck to yourself, so your authenticity stuck out. Red hair, things you chose to rap about. What made you choose that direction when you started your career?
It was just how I was living. It was just like I could only rap about what I know. So it was just the life that I had. I was in the music I was influenced by at the time. I was listening to, I love McConan. He's from Atlanta. He was killing it. I loved like Soulja Boy and Rich Kids and just melodic rap. And so I think it just kind of bled into my music. I also loved rock music and pop music. And so I was just into very melodic things. And so I think that's just kind of where my world transpired. Mm-hmm. And I was so young and I was so new. I don't know, bro. I have always been extremely unapologetically me. as I think everyone should be. I mean, especially if you want to be in entertainment, it's important to to know yourself, which is it's important, but it's not easy. You know, it's not easy to wake up and know what you like, especially someone coming from. I graduated high school in March, and by May of the next year, I was a celebrity. So you go from being a kid living your entire life in your mom's house to 9 months later, you're in this penthouse in Atlantic Station. I grew up in this, like outside the city in middle class, low income suburbs. So like, and now like I just spent 17 years of my life with my mom in the same house. I lived in one house my entire life. I still own it to this day. And then like I'm in this penthouse with the homies. I'm like, what the fuck do you do now? You know, you got girls, there's temptations of drugs, and like it's just everything as a rapper. And so like it took a lot of time to like learn. Like I've always been confident in who I was, but to really learn what it was I stood for, what I liked, or what I wanted.
Is it harder to do so when things like that are coming at you fast?
Well, it's harder to do when you're under a magnifying glass. You know, and everything you do is judged, or everything you do is looked at and you like picked apart, and you know, you can't. I was growing into a man in front of the world, you know, and like I had everything I went through, you know, like that was public, like was some kind of glorified or some kind of like just like talked about, you know. So like it takes a lot of will and like a lot of confidence to deal with that. For a long, I dealt with a lot of hatred, you know, but I've always been so confident. I just been like, man, I don't care what no one can say anything about me. I don't care. I am who I am, and I love it. And I know I'm light years ahead of y'all niggas. You feel me? But that took self-confidence that I was grateful that growing up, my father was very confident. You know, my father right now is a black man with wicks, gold teeth, and a fucking curl mustache. Like this nigga don't give a fuck, you know?
Yeah.
He like old school cars, and he's fly. My dad has always been fly. Back in the day, middle school, my dad drove a vintage Benz, and I used to hate it. I used to be like, yo, dad, this car old as shit, drop me off down the street. But I didn't understand vintage cars. I didn't understand the authenticity in the world of classic cars.
Yeah.
I used to think, man, mom drives a new BMW. This shit's old as fuck. Like, the fuck, we got a tape player. Dad, please drop me off down the street. I'll walk.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got old, I was like, man, my dad was fly as shit. My dad just knew. He just was fly. He was ahead of the curve. My dad used to have me, when I was a kid, I used to wear New Balances. And like, growing up, it was like Nike and Jordan. So I was like, New Balances, man, this is whack. My dad wore New Balances, and I was like, man, then I got older, so I was like, New Balances fly as shit. Team Nike though, Team Nike.
Yeah.
I got a Nike deal. Nike. Just do it. But I'm saying at the time, I wore, you know, and it was my dad used to have me wearing New Balance, and I didn't understand it. But he was just him.
Yeah.
My dad is so cool, and I'm so grateful I grew up around a man who was so confident. One thing about my dad, he always had a new girlfriend every year. In 1 year, like for like 2 years, he married a white woman. My dad crazy, but he growing up, my dad wasn't the guy that was like, yo, you see them over there? Like, look, they gay. Don't do that. Like I never seen my dad talk bad about anybody or my mom. You know, I never seen them judge anybody. They never told me what's like, this is wrong. You can't do this. You know, my dad didn't disrespect women. So like, growing up, I had a good understanding of just like what good people are. You know, my parents weren't together and they weren't the best of friends, but like they tried to be applicable, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess because I think as a kid you are a product of your environment. So the shit that you grow up around and you see, even if you don't have a good understanding of what it is, it kind of can bleed into you in some way, you know. So I'm grateful that like I didn't see things, you know. My dad wasn't racist. He wasn't like, oh man, like I hate white people, and you know, he wasn't that type of person. My dad has love for everybody, you know. And so like I just grew up like open-minded. Like I never felt any way about anyone. Like I was cool with anybody who was cool with me, and like my dad listened to everything. I grew up listening to Coldplay, James Brown, fucking Kane, Tom York, like fucking John Lennon and like John Coltrane. I was named after Miles Davis. My sister's named after Nina Simone. Like I just grew up listening to everything. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it sounds like your dad gave you a really strong foundation to be
well, both my
open,
parents, though.
creative.
Yeah, absolutely. My mom was really stylish too. They had different styles. My dad's style was free form. My mom's was like more like luxurious.
Well, I was going to ask you, like, what do you think you picked up the most from your dad and picked up the most from your mom?
I mean, for my dad, it was free flow living. My mom was very organized and scheduled. My dad kind of woke up and went with the day. He was a photographer. So he kind of like, he was always on the road. He was always flying around, and he always worked with rappers and like celebrities and shit. So he was like really free flowing.
Were you able to meet anybody real young?
Yeah, I met a couple people. I met Ludacris. I met John Legend. I met man, one time I was supposed to go to a Soulja Boy video shoot. He's my favorite rapper growing up, and then I got in trouble at school. My dad didn't take me, but that was heartbreaking.
Bro, my first album I ever bought in my life, first rap album, was Crank That Soulja Boy.
Absolutely.
CD, hard copy.
Yep.
I was living in Germany.
SouljaBoyTellHim.com.
I was cranking that Soulja Boy. I was cranking that SpongeBob. I was cranking that Batman.
All that Batman, Spider-Man.
Everything.
He was cranking everything. I was too. I was cranking everything too. Everything got crunked. Oh God. Everything got cranked. Oh God. I remember that time period. That's cause I loved Soulja Boy, bro. He was like a heavy influence on me as a child.
Absolutely.
Cause I was an internet kid and I just watched everything he did.
Likewise.
But yeah, so I don't know, man. I just like my dad was free flowing. My mom was very by the book. She's very scheduled. She's very like in order. My mom's very classy, in order, and I kind of got like my sense of intelligence from her and my sense of prepness, just like being attentive. My mom always used to stress to me in high school, like you have to have a plan. Don't just go into this world. Like, you know, you need to have a plan out your life. And she used to say it so much, it drilled in my brain, and I hated it. But I just started planning my life out. You know, I planned for college only because I was, like, I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah.
Then I planned my rap career. I planned it out, and it went exactly as I planned it. But it was all because my mom was like, bro, have a plan. Have a plan. Like, plan. Like, don't just, like, wake up. Have a plan.
Yeah. What do you think your parents' vision of success looked like?
Well, my dad traveled around with rappers. He worked with Kanye West. He worked with fucking Outkast. He worked with everybody. You know, like he shot everyone. Now he works with George Lopez. He tours with George Lopez. But like my dad, like I think his idea of success was the sky. You know, I don't think he obviously thought I was gonna be like this big, like worldwide rapper. My mother's idea of success, on the other hand, was college. A college degree, diploma, a good hard-working job, what the fuck ever, right? But like that's just where she came from. My mom went to college, she finished college, she got a degree. No, my dad on the other hand, he didn't finish college and he loved the road. My mom lived in the same house her entire life. My dad moved houses every year. You know, my dad was like a free-flowing guy. He was like, man, he couldn't tie him down to one thing. So they were very opposite people, you know, and I kind of pulled from both of them and to make me, like, I really think I am almost like a 50-50 split of both of my
Hearing you
parents.
explain it,
Yeah.
definitely 50-50.
Yeah, literally. So, like, it's crazy.
Man, it's crazy hearing you talk about their vision of success, because my parents were the same way. My dad was in the Army for 28 years. My mom's immigrant from Russia. So they were both just really unknown to what entrepreneurship was. I think I'm the first entrepreneur of my whole family tree. And when I brought them to the idea of y'all want to be a barber, immediately shot down.
Yeah.
Because college was the vision of them to be successful. Get a degree, go get a job, get your retirement, you know, start your life. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't know what the hell I was going to be doing coming into senior year. It seemed like everybody had to figure it out where they were going to go, what they were going to study, what they wanted to be. And I was clueless. All I knew was I had a hustle to me. I always made my own money. Like, I always try to find a way to sustain myself like you were. Like, my dad told me when I was 14 that a man don't ask his mom for money.
Word.
It was like, yo, if you were gonna take your girl to the movie, like you do it on your own dime,
Right.
you don't ask your mom to go and take your girl out.
That's real.
You go and do that. So from a young age, I was always working and trying to figure it out and get $1. So,
Same.
dude, always.
Because I love clothes. And my mom ain't had the money to just give me. So I was like, I was a hustler. My mom taught me how to sew. So back in high school, bro, like when I was in school in 2013 and 14, they didn't have skinny sweats like there is now. You know, like there was Adidas pants and Nike track pants, but they were wide. They were original, Adidas originals, Nike pants. They were wide pants. You know, like skinny soccer pants that didn't come into style till like 2016.
Oh yeah, but when the Adidas pants came,
yeah, but
they
see,
hit hard.
but before then, everyone's pants was loose, but skinny clothes was in style. So I used to go around and take people's clothes and I'd sew them up.
Yeah.
I'd do alterations for you like $10. And I was a thrift store shopper before it was popping, so every Tuesday it was Last Chance Thrift Store on Thornton Road. I would go, and shit was half off. I would buy clothes, go back to school, sell vintage clothes, because no one knew where to get it from. Get it for like $1, a jersey for $1, sell it for like $10. Like, I was a hustler.
Yeah.
You know, so like I always made my own money because I always loved clothes.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta be fresh.
It's funny, my first real hustle I did, I was flipping shoes. I was a sneakerhead.
Just
I was
like
in the
that.
shoe industry. I was watching hype beasts. I was learning about Ronnie Fieg and Kith and you know, A6 and all this stuff that's blowing up. And I flipped so many damn shoes that I bought my first car for myself when I turned 16.
That's crazy.
Went and bought my first car for my 16th birthday. I didn't have a license yet.
That's crazy.
So, you know, back to it, like my mom and them were all the way on college, and I knew I couldn't go. I felt.
But how did they feel about you, like, being such a hustler at a young age? Like, did they understand?
They admired it, but I never forget my dad telling me that I had the rest of my life to work. And I think that was something that stuck. Yeah, that really stuck with me because I would miss out on everything. I don't know. I had the mentality like I had to make it out in some way or like just get it, and that was the only way.
Wait, so when he said you had the rest of your life to work, did he mean like have fun now, or did he mean like this is what you need to be doing?
No, he
forever?
said like have fun now because like I remember times that I would wake up in the house and everybody in the house would be gone. And I call them like, where y'all at? And like, oh, we're at the beach.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, damn, why didn't y'all wake me up? Like, oh, we figured you were gonna work today. Because I would work so much.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, there's like days that I wish I would have just been with my family or like even just had more high school experiences, but I was always working. And I think it got me where I needed. It gave me work ethic, but man, the rest of my life to work always stuck with me. And I wish I would have maybe gone back there and took some more time.
Yeah, man, you know, I was watching last night. I spoke at Howard University. I was in DC. And I was in my hotel room before I went to the airport, and I saw this clip of this guy talking about Winnie the Pooh, the book, and he was talking about how it makes him so sad. He said if he could go back and redo his life, he would, because he worked so hard his whole life to just be great, and he never had any fun. And then he started talking about the values, what's truly the value of life, and it's to enjoy it. You know, and make the most of what you have. Like, man, I've been to so many countries, and like I went to Africa, and it changed my perspective on life because everyone was happy. It's not like I went over there and everyone was sad and like moping. I went to a part of Africa and it was like dirt roads and like huts, and like, man, everyone was happy, dancing and smiling, and like it was love. And they didn't have electricity or a toilet that flushed, but it was like happiness. And it's like, bro, like that type of stuff, it truly gives you a perspective that life is so much more than like what is valued by the masses. That's why I always say, man, the most important thing to me is family and friendship, bro. I value friendship more than anything in this world. More than any currency, any experience. Friendship is the most important thing to me, bro. Because it's like, bro, you can't get back, like you can't buy happiness and laughter and jokes and trust, and like you can't buy that.
Yeah, that makes me think of this quote, and it's some people are so poor, all they got is money. And that hit because
that's crazy.
You could have
everything,
all the money in the world, you could have it all. And I think any young person that's going into a successful trajectory will hit that point. Like I've been at the point where I had the car, the house, the everything, and it was empty as fuck in there. And that was a sad place to be. And you could be so rich and be so filled with all these material things that you're missing some of the most important things in life, which are things you're talking about: family, friendship, memories.
Some people are so poor.
All they got is money.
That is, I've never heard that before, but that will stick with me.
Yeah. So you went to college and didn't enjoy it?
I went to Alabama State in Montgomery, and it was the worst experience of my fucking life. It was awful. I have never felt so secluded and alone. Again, this is 2015, right? So like I have red hair, braids, and I'm in Montgomery, Alabama, where it's like country than motherfucking country. Like it is country. And I'm in I'm Alabama State, which is like an HBCU. It is black. I'm such an artistic person. Like country people are so close-minded. Like they don't understand like artistic expression and like Oh, boy, like hair, having your hair a certain
I'm
way.
from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Country.
It's super country.
As fuck.
Where
You
Cole from,
understand.
so it's
Facts.
like, nah, nobody saw shit outside of the city. It was
Facts.
impossible to get different perspectives.
Yeah, right. So I'm coming in with braids and beads, and I dressed a certain way, and I had just beads in my hand. When I was young, I used to wear colorful beads. I haven't worn colored beads in a long time. I went straight clear.
I got
VVS
well,
now
diamonds
I got
now.
now I got
yeah,
diamonds.
it came a long way from the colored joints.
Exactly. but when I was in school, I used to wear colored beads, and I used to like try to match it to like my outfit if I had to do something. But I was so crazy in Montgomery, they weren't even wearing skinny jeans. It wasn't a thing. They were wearing loose pants. So it was like, you wear skinnies. It's like, bro, you're weird. It was the first time I ever felt depression because in high school, I was voted most likely to be successful. I was on a yearbook staff. I was most likely to be famous. And I was like runner up for best dressed, and like I was just cool. So going from being this cool guy, I ran the pep rallies. I was like the guy who ran the pep rallies. So from all that to going to college, and then they're like, bro, you're weird. I stuck out like a sore thumb. It drove me to a dark place, like not wanting to ever leave my dorm. And I used to wear a hood, and it was hot as fuck in Alabama. I have a hood on with the strings drawn because I didn't want people to see my hair color. Like they stared at me and they recorded me with their phones.
You was
and
a
shit.
hoodie kid. That's
yeah,
crazy.
I was a hoodie kid in 90-degree weather, and I had no friends. It was the darkest part of my life. So yeah, I went to school, but it fucking sucked. And I went for 2 months, and I left, and I was like, bro, I have to make something of myself.
Were you already pursuing music in college?
Yeah, it was, but I wasn't taking it, too serious because I was like, fuck, I mean.
So what was the point that you just decided to
so
go
I was
all in?
So I was a scammer. I used to do credit card fraud, and I would leave.
Good though, right?
Well, now I am.
All right, that was
now I am. But at the
time,
I was a kid. I had your grandma's social and your auntie's credit. Yeah, I was thugging, right? So like on weekends, I get on a plane and we'll go to cities and go to the mall and ball. I could book you a flight for a third of what it costs. If the flight was $200, give me $50, you first class. Like I was thugging. I used to give people Ubers and I used to order people food for like I used to be like, yo, give me $100 and like you'll be riding Ubers and ordering a fucking DoorDash. Like I was one of those guys. So like I was hustling. So what happened was one time me and a good friend of mine, we went to Palm City Beach. Palm City Beach is where Trump lives and it's white people who don't fucking play. So we went to Palm City Beach Gardens Mall. I'm thinking it's just like Miami, Florida. I don't know shit. We in there. My friend, man, rest his soul, Lord Reese. He is, man, like he was the biggest flexer, of all time. So like we in the mall. This is when they had them fucking hoverboards. We the only two Negroes in here. I got gold teeth. I got braids. He got braids. He ran around on the hoverboard, flashing hundreds of dollars, and we going to all these stores balling. We buying everything everywhere with fake credit cards. So I guess what happened was we got the lids. I guess one of the cards we used was reported stolen. Now when your card is reported stolen, you don't know. You just try. You got all these gift cards and like you just trying shit. So what we would do is we would put people's actual Amex on gift cards.
They dropping a couple methods right now.
Yeah, no, right.
Let's not get too many methods.
Yeah, this life was behind me. But anyways, we was in lids, and so we don't know what cards work and don't. You're just kind of trying. And you don't know if it's reported stolen or not. So we swiped the card, and the lady on her screen, it told her, hey, this card is fraud, call the cops. Now my guy with my homie I'm young, and this is him. He was shopping in here, I wasn't. I'm on my phone. He's such a big flex, he's recording on his phone like, yeah, man, we balling out, we doing that now. He would ride around on hoverboard. The lady, she just stalling her, she's smart. So she just like, hey, yeah, you want to goddamn, you like this, and you want this hat, and what's your hat size, you sure it fits? And she called the cops. And we didn't even realize it, we just in there, and nope, I'm wrong. I was in the lid store shopping, and she was tricking me. My friend,
she was getting tricked.
He was down at a different store, and she had finessed me to staying in there. And I started realizing, like, man, I'm just buying hats. Why is it taking so long? And I realized, oh my God, I see what's going on. And so like I walked out, and I'm like trying to go to the car.
Is this the first time that she went bed?
Yeah. So I'm like trying to call my man. I was like, yo, bro. It was like 3 mall cops. They didn't say nothing to me, but they were just walking behind me like they were trying to come up on me. The mall cops were trying to stall for real cops. And I called my man. I was like, yo, bro, I think something's wrong. We have to go. And so he was on a hoverboard. They like fucking tackled him off, and they went to jail in Florida. And I was in college and I had to call my mom first time I was arrested, and she was like, "You're going down the path of destruction. You're gonna be a failure in life." You know, she was upset. Oh man, I went back to college with this mindset. It's like when I went in all my classes, like they was talking like fucking Charlie Brown's parents, like womp womp womp. I was like, man, the kids from like my neighborhood were graduating college and coming back home to live with their parents. I was like, you mean to tell me I'm about to be in debt and be paying on this college shit forever just to come back home and work at Wendy's? Eat us dick. Like I'm not doing this. The fuck? Like my mom was like, she's not paying for my tuition. The debt was on me. I'm like, what the fuck? Who finna where? Like I'm not finna, man, blow me. So I left. I just dropped out. I left all my shit. I left everything in my dorm. And I flew free. So like also it's the crazy thing, my dad worked for Delta. So I could fly anywhere for free. So I would fly home every weekend and be a rap, like try and become an aspiring rapper and come back to school on Monday. So one time I flew home and I just never came back, you know? And I just told my mom, just give me a year. If it don't work, I'll go back. I'll be the same age as everyone in my class and nothing will be a thing, right? But man, 6 months, I did it, you know? Like in 6 months, I dropped out in October and actually March I put my project out, but I signed $1 million deal in like May with QC and Capitol Records, and everything from there was to the sky, you know?
Yeah, I remember making the same deal with my mom. Give me a year, I go get my license. I'll go to college after, but I gotta get my license because I weighed risk and reward. I was like, man, I could do something right now at a young age that ain't never been done before. I could chase this dream.
Let me ask you, where did your brain come, like, cause barbers they make money. I'm guessing if you have a good clientele, you make good money, but where'd you get this brain set, like, man, I'm gonna be a barber and I'm gonna live like I'm gonna be like one of the biggest, most popular barbers. Like, how did you even think that was possible? Because there's no popular barbers before you, you know? Like,
there's like a small barber community, but I feel like I was the one to transcend it to a global level.
100%.
Where it's like accepting a lot of different mediums, and it's a lot, you know, I was able to do something. But the goal was that I was gonna go to barber school. I loved it. And the typical idea of what you can be celebrated for, and it's great, I think, that we're having this convo, is that you gotta be a rapper or you gotta be an athlete. And those were gonna be the only two ways to impact in a really big way and to be able to change the dynamic of your family. But I was like, man, why can't I just do that with a regular job? Why does it feel like you can't be celebrated by choosing, you know, trades or choosing regular things? So I was like, man, I think it would be inspiring for me to choose this typical job that you wouldn't expect and show people how you can make an impact doing so. So the vision always grew, but it went from, all right, man, I'll be this barber, I'll open a shop here, you know, or maybe I won't do that, but I'll go cut these people and I'll make this money, and then I'll, you know, start this, and then I'll, you know, do this give back. So it started growing.
So how'd you align yourself with like celebrities? Like, cause I remember you used to be at QC years. Like, how'd you start getting around?
Well, I was in Fayetteville, North Carolina's where I grew up at, and first celebrity I cut was Dennis Smith Jr.
Okay.
Basketball player. He came in, he got drafted. He came into the restaurant I was working. I was a server still, cutting at my mom's garage. I seen Dennis come in. I went and like shot my shot after he was coming out the bathroom, and I was like, yo, I want to give you a cut. So, you know, he blessed me. That was the first person I cut, and then never really cut a rapper until I came to Atlanta. And I just realized that living in Fayetteville was not going to get me where I wanted. I have this analogy where you can be the right seed in the right soil, but not the right sunlight or water. You could be the right person with the right idea, but in the wrong environment to grow. And in order for a plant to grow in the best condition, it needs all areas to be taken care of. So I'm sitting there like, man, I'm this great barber. I think I got a great mindset. I think I'm like, I got all the skill sets needed, but I'm stuck in somewhere that nobody could see me yet. So coming to Atlanta was just giving myself the sunlight and water I needed.
Was that a big risk though?
I had no family. I had no friends. The only ever time I've been to Atlanta before that was for a night, and I slept in my car. I came to the city with a $900 apartment I got in Marietta that was in a terrace floor, like terrace in the back of the apartment complex under the first floor. I didn't even have a window. So like, I didn't know where the hell I was at. I just knew that I had this skill that I could bet on, and I would go there and I would figure it out later. And that was all I was gonna bet on. So yeah, I got to the city, man, started DMing every rapper I could possibly find. And I was a young kid with no kids, nothing. I could pull up anytime. I've seen you at QC when I first got to Atlanta, like 5 years ago, man, at 3, 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, started cutting baby shortly after that, man. Shout out to Wham for putting me in a lot of great positions. But, you know, word gets around. Atlanta's not that big.
No, it's not.
It's not. So when somebody's really doing good, you got a good character about yourself, you know, you'll get around. But, I mean, it came to that. So cutting tons of celebrities, And that was a great time.
But did that come from DMing? Was that just like DMing people and
DMing and just being in that fucking studio? Bro, I would get in that studio.
But how'd you get invited? Like
I would find somebody, but it wouldn't be an artist all the time. It would be like a photographer or a DJ, or it would be an engineer. It would be somebody, not an artist.
So you think that comes from networking? You think that comes from being in the right place? Was that like, what would you say? Because a lot of people always ask certain questions. How do you get in these rooms? So I think it's something important to talk about. Can you recall the first person who got you in the studio?
Yeah, DJ Gio, rest in peace, Mozzie DJ. I had hit them up before I came to Atlanta to try to see if I could line something up. And he hit me saying they had a show that weekend because I knew Mozzie was on tour. Gio was a DJ, got me in there. Of course, now I'm in the studio, Astro Studios. I'm in the lobby. Everybody's coming through seeing there's a barber there. Mozzie ended up being the first rapper that I cut when I came to Atlanta. But man, finding a way to get in the door, even when I started cutting NBA players, it's like, all right, if I want to get to the starting point guard, it's going to start with 12th man off the bench. 12th man off the bench ain't got 1 million followers on the gram. Maybe got less than 100,000. The likelihood of him seeing my DM was going to be higher than seeing the start point guard. But if I cut him and I finessed it, I knew he going to go to the same locker room everybody else go to. So if I had 3 bench players that I'm cutting, eventually someone's going to mention my name as where they're going to get their haircut. So it started like that with the Atlanta Hawks. I ended up becoming Trae Young barber real shortly after that. You know, after maybe a year of cutting 5, 6 guys in the dorm.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Well, I mean, get in the room by any means, however you can. However you can.
And not focusing on the top.
No, it don't take the top, bro.
Yeah.
It don't take the top. You come around enough, everybody pays attention. They'll see you, and you'll get a chance to. Like, just get in the room.
Yeah. And just get your face seen. And let people see what you do, you know? Like just seeing, oh, he cut here. All right, cool. You know, even if you don't get a cut that day, later down the line, you know what I'm saying? Like it'll come back around.
And I always just had just a feeling though that I had purpose beyond the craft, right? The passion is the cut. The purpose is why you're doing it. And I felt that God was always telling me to be able to inspire somebody. And just that was gonna take me where I needed to get to.
We're gonna take a quick break from this Lil Yachty episode to thank the sponsor of this episode, Factor. You can get chef-prepared meals on the table in 2 minutes with Factor's ready-to-eat meals so you can get back to doing what you love this spring. Tailored to your schedule, customize your weekly meals with the flexibility to have as much or as little as you need. You can pause or reschedule deliveries to suit your lifestyle. One of my favorite meals is the creamy Parmesan chicken. I'm able to come home as soon as I finish the gym. In about 2 minutes, I got a meal ready for myself to eat. It helps me stick to my goals as I'm trying to bulk up for the summer. Factor will help you cut down on the grocery trips and the cooking time so you can have more time for doing what you love. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use the code DeepCut50 to get 50% off your first box and then 20% off your next box. That's code DeepCut50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box and then 20% off your next box while your subscription is still active. Now let's get back to the episode.
What do you feel your purpose is?
Damn. You know, I think as I get older, it becomes a little more clear. But I think I have several purposes, you know, to inspire, to mentor, to nourish, you know, to protect. My mother is my life, and it's like protecting her and making sure that she lives the life that she always wanted to live, you know, but really everyone in my life, and just kind of being that light, that guidance, you know, to anyone like who needs direction. I don't know everything, but like, man, I was blessed to learn a lot of things. So I think like to just be the person, to be that bridge between people who have a dream or an idea and the people who can make it happen.
High five.
Being that bridge, you know, like, and just being someone who is not afraid to express anything, you know, like I'm a celebrity and a rapper, but I'm like I'm the most regular guy you'll ever meet, you know, like I'm not on, I don't club, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I be chilling, you know what I'm saying, like I ain't coming here with 50 guys. I came here by myself, you know, like, and I do that anywhere. I'm not some unapproachable person you can't come talk to in the mall or like at a restaurant. I mean, I would prefer you not do while I'm eating, but I'm still gonna talk to you, you know, like, but so I think just like me getting blessed with the opportunity to be this figure, this public figure. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm devoting my entire life to get people to like be positive and don't do drugs, and I'm not saying that's what I'm on, but I'm saying like when I do things like this, when I come talk in front of a camera and I know people are gonna watch it, or like I go do things in the community, I try to get people to see that I am a person just like anyone else, you know, and I'm an entertainer, and really like the focus is that anyone can do this. Anyone can entertain, you know, and not to get caught up in so much the content in the entertainment and more so the fact that it's to entertain. So like don't get so caught up in like maybe what someone talking about or what they showing. It's like, I'm in this bitch to provide, you know, and anyone can do it. You can get it too, but like on the other flip side, like bro, I'm like Joe Schmo. You know what I'm saying? I eat hot dogs out of Quick Trip religiously. I say like I'm still eating Quick Trip hot dogs right now. I might get one after this, you know? Like I take shits like everybody else. This morning I shitted in the airport. I swear to God. Like I'm just like y'all. Like I'm for real. Like I'm a normal.
Yeah, I was at a baseball game. I ate 3 hot dogs.
Man, bro, you gotta go when you gotta go.
So you work and live in an industry that moves really fast off of trends.
Absolutely.
How do you protect the authenticity?
First, I'll say, like, I feel like, man, bro, being an entertainer, your life is in dog years. You do so much in a year that just feels like you're forced to grow up. I just, like, from a young age, realized, like, bro, there's Miles and there's Lil Yachty. And, like, it's like, you know, my career is my career. And then, you know, I try to keep my private life as private as possible to protect my sanity and just to, like, live as normal as I can. I also try to understand everyone because I know everyone won't understand me. Once you get to a certain level, in a certain stature, certain people will only view you in a certain way. Like most people, like, man, you a celebrity, man. Like you rich, like this, you don't feel no pain. You don't understand. You know, like when people see you eating and come talk, you be like, hey man, I know you're busy, but they don't really like. In their brain, it's like, man, bro, he used to this. He's supposed to take this picture right now. You know, or like they see me in a heated conversation somewhere and they still walk up for a picture, you know, or even if I'm sick and it's 5 a.m. in the airport, I'm coughing and I'm exhausted, no one is taking into consideration like, hey, I am a human being. And I also try to keep a level of sanity by just staying as stress-free as possible and always having a mindset that things could be worse and that they'll eventually get better.
What are you most proud about for yourself?
I think just being a guy, I didn't let materialism change me. I've owned over 30, probably more than 30 cars. Like I bought so many cars. I done had the biggest houses. I done been around the world. I done flew jets. I got over $10 million. I done had no $10 million worth of jewelry. Like I've lived a great life. And I'm still the same guy who I was in high school. I didn't let anything change me. Like I try to remain as humble and as to the ground as any other flower. So I think that's what I'm most like proud of myself for. And to this day, I don't follow anyone. You know, like I march to the beat of my own drum. And I am proud that like even if I get it wrong, I don't get it right every time. I fuck up. But that's life. And understanding that in life, you have to make mistakes to truly appreciate success. How could you appreciate success if all your life shit was given to you? If you grew up all your life, you had everything you had. Jordans always, you had a car in high school and you just always had fly shit. How could you appreciate buying yourself a nice car?
How do you change that perspective when it's not going your way? How you taking a bad experience and saying, all right, I'll make the best of this?
Well, I think it's just understanding that nothing is cemented. You know, nothing is permanent. Like I've seen how quick people turn and how quick you can gain fans. I've seen people like, man, I love this guy. And then the next year it's like, oh man, he sucks, he flopped. And I've seen it come back around. It's happened with me in my career. People loved me, hated me, loved me, hate me. You know what I'm saying? So like I just started to realize like, bro, you can't control everyone, anyone. You can't control life. You're in control of your own destiny, you know, and you can't be defined by your failures, nor your success, but by your character.
And you're only defined if you keep going. It's the only moment that's gonna define it. If you keep going and you become better when you know that you took a loss or you know that you did something that didn't hold up to your values or the morals you have for yourself. Like,
and on top of that, realizing that like it's not the end all be all. We're so hard on ourselves as people that we forget, like, bro, people live life. You know, no one's gonna hold on to like, oh man, like, oh, I missed that one jump shot. Or like, oh man, I dropped the bad song. You know, or like, oh man, I made a collection of clothes that wasn't the coolest. You know, like just keep tunnel vision. All right, cool, it wasn't the best. Figure out why. I'm a statistical guy. I want to know what works, why does it work, how does it work, and to whom it works for. Rest is like, oh man, that shit flopped. Damn, dog. Man, damn. Man, I suck. Man, damn. No. All right, cool. That didn't work. They didn't like this. Why didn't they like it? Okay, what's popping right now? Why do they like that? All right, cool. Bet. Watch this.
so, I mean, you're talking about learning. Like, how do you learn?
I learn from, like I said, assessing data, you know? And even more than data, just assessing people. You know, I pay attention to the world I live in. I pay attention to what people like. I pay attention to what people don't like. I take it all in, and I try to understand why. You know, not just like, oh man, that didn't work. They're not fucking with that. Well, why aren't they fucking with it? And what do they fuck with? Man, I'm on the internet, man, I watch everyone's reactions. I watch everyone's reviews. I'm talking about people with 300 views, 500 views, 1,000 views, 500,000 views. Why didn't you like it? What you like about it? Are you fucking with this? Are you like this? You like how he danced in this video? You like to, I want to know, you know, so I can take it in and try to do something with that information. You know, the biggest person, and it's no different than the littlest person. They all have, everyone's opinion is valid, you know? Ooh.
Spicy.
That was.
What are you currently excited about learning?
I mean, well, you know, I just started in a label, so this is my first time in an executive chair, and I am learning so much about how people operate and what they care about, trying to be this mentor and this guidance to these artists who are new, fresh, you know, sometimes nervous and sometimes confused and just trying to find their way. You know, when I came into the industry, I didn't have any guidance. I didn't have any mentor. I was like a kid trying to figure this shit out. So like, I think right now I'm just learning how to be the best mentor and just be the best executive and just be there and show people like my people how and what, you know, where to go and how to do it. It's interesting, but it is a very challenging seat, you know. I'm still an artist myself, and I'm still traveling through my career. So at the same time traveling through my career and trying to make sure that I make the best steps in my direction while trying to guide all these other people. So I think right now I'm learning executiveness, and I'm learning just how to help build someone else's career and like help people just make better steps. You know, I think I've had ups and downs and I've made mistakes, and I'm grateful that I have, because I can teach someone, hey, handle it like this, or hey man, it's not the end of the world, man. I felt this way before. I know how you feel. Share my experiences, let them know like, man, there's a brighter side on the other side of that door. I just thought about something else. I'm also learning how to love. And I say that, I don't mean like love anyone. I mean specifically, I'm learning how to be a man who is developing a relationship, you know, with the woman, and learning how to be trying to learn how to be a real man in that situation. because my parents divorced when I was 6, and my mom was a very classy woman. Like I said, my mom never brought a man home. She never told us she was going on dates. And that's not to say that maybe she didn't, but she kept the image in our eyes so clean as our mom. I was so young when my parents divorced, I never saw them kiss. So I never saw them kiss, and then I never saw my mom kiss any other man, because she never brought a man home. She was just so like heavy on like, man, I'm a mother first. And so like, I didn't see love growing up, you know? Like, I didn't see like any negative shit, but I just didn't see it. And we didn't talk about anything. And my dad was always with a new girl, so like, he couldn't really teach me too much. But even then, me and my dad didn't talk about love and women. And so like, and then in my career, I was so young that like, I didn't really have time, nor did I really care to really try and like learn how to be a man in a relationship, or like, even if I'm not in a relationship, how to look for a partner, or like, I just didn't care, to be honest. Like, it just wasn't something on my brain. I was just like, I want to work and I'm trying to get this. So I think that's another thing.
Do you think the self-work that you put in before just helped it be easier for you to find what it is you're loving? Like, knowing yourself and knowing how to love yourself is the first step.
Okay, so yes, and let me tell you that. When was COVID?
2020.
Okay, so the first 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5 years of my career before COVID, bro, I ran. I was on the run. I was home like 30, 40 days out of the year. So like, I didn't, and keep in mind, this is 6 months after graduating high school, bro. I didn't know myself. You know, I was a kid, like, and I just got dropped into this new world. I'm kind of confused. I'm like a celebrity now, and I'm like a millionaire now, and it's like, damn, like, I don't know who really fucked me for me, and I don't know. I honestly, I ran so much for the first 5 years, I didn't even know what I really liked. I didn't know what I liked in a woman. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what I was interested in. You know, like, I didn't know. So I agree with you 100%. It is so important to first love yourself, and then to know what is it that, how can you look for something in someone if you don't know what it is you're looking for? Because you haven't took the time to assess. I think dating is important, you know, like meeting people and learning, experiencing things that you like and experiencing things that you don't like, so that when it is time, you meet someone you feel like is someone that is for you, you've experienced what you don't like. So you know what you don't like, you know for a fact, all right, I don't like when someone shut down and don't talk to me. I know that. You know, I don't like when someone yells at me and cusses at me, or I don't like when someone is super aggressive in sex and want me to wear the handcuffs and strap me to the bed and then spank me with like a leather paddle. So like, you know, like, but you have to experience these things to know, like, okay, so if I don't like that, I do know, like, man, I like how this girl explains to me and expresses that, you know, she wanted me to open the car door. She wanted me to talk to her when I had a problem. Like you have to date, though, to figure out these things, you know?
I feel like that's where I'm at. I mean, I was always a relationship dude. I had a girlfriend all the time, never was single. And I mean, that's where I'm at now. And yeah, I feel like I'm just learning through different partners or the people that I've been with. Like, all right, this didn't work, but what I learned. This didn't work, but what I learned. And I think soon, you know, one of these days, I'll hopefully curate in my mind what it is going to be my perfect match, or God might think my perfect match might be. But yeah, I'm doing that now, and it is, man, it's exciting, honestly.
It is. I mean, sometimes it doesn't always work out, you know?
Yeah.
You have some experiences, you're like, God, that sucked. That was a waste of time, but like, it's all in emotions.
All right, so we got this section called Quick Cuts. All right, presented by Get Joy. I'm gonna call out some quick questions.
Let's get it.
You answer them fast.
Let's do it.
Answer how you want. Who would you trade places with for a day?
Drake. This life's crazy. He has a crazy life.
You been on Air Drake?
I've been on Air Drake a bunch of times, yeah. But I've spent a lot of time with him, and he lives a crazy life. Like, he really is Bruce Wayne.
All right, biggest pet.
Or Baby. Baby's life is crazy too. Baby has a crazy
I've been around with Wayne a couple times. Look,
hey,
that's a life. That's a life. That's a life worth living. Yeah.
I would take Wayne's spot or Drake's.
Yeah. All right, biggest pet peeve.
I just don't like people who aren't honest or communicative. I'm so big on communication. Let's talk. I want to talk through this. Don't like tell me one thing and really have this animosity.
Yeah. Dream fashion collab.
Man. I mean, my dream fashion collab would be to work with Daniel Lee, who's the head designer and creative director at Burberry now, but it was at Bottega. That is my favorite designer. I think he is just like, he is a great designer. So to work with Daniel Lee.
Daniel Lee, pick up the phone.
Oh, I spoke to him. We know each other.
It's in the works.
Yeah.
Relive any moment in your life again. What would you relive?
Honestly, man, high school, bro. High school was so fucking fun. It was so carefree. And like, bro, like it was just fun. Like I was learning things and like I was going to football games and basketball games and like hanging out with my friends for the first time and going to parties. And it was like, I remember the first time I sipped alcohol and I was like, oh, this is terrible. I'll never do it again.
Did you play a sport in high school?
I played football, yeah, and I was terrible. I never
What
got,
position?
Like bench. yeah. I played the bench. I never got in ever.
That's so crazy.
But it was I didn't even like football. I only did it because my friends did it. So it was just the growing up and like experiencing things. Like I loved it, bro. It was so cool. Like walking to classes and like lunchroom, and it was just like I loved high school. Like a lot of people didn't like their high school experience, but man, I had one of the best high school experiences. I would do high school again, to be honest.
All right, you're stranded on an island. One person you'd have with you.
My mom. And she couldn't do shit. Like, it's not like she could do anything for me in that situation.
No survival skills?
No. But like, my mom is just like, obviously we all have our flaws, but like, she is just such a great person. She's so funny. I just know my mom loves me so much. So like, I would love to just like, if I'm gonna be stuck and like stranded and might die, like I definitely would love to do that for my mom. Sorry, mom, like that I would put you in that situation, but
yeah. I'd go with my mom too if I had to.
Yeah.
All right, biggest misconception about yourself?
I don't know, bro. Like people just don't really know anything about me. I keep my personal life very personal. You know, like I've never posted my kid. I don't speak about it publicly. I don't post relationships. So a lot of people like think like I'm gay. Yeah. Like I say yeah like that. Like you just like
I get that. Yeah.
If you say like
see that. I can see that.
Oh, you can see that.
I can see that.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I keep my life separate from my career. So I think like a lot of people just be thinking like wherever they want. I don't really ever care to clear anything up because like I'm still happy. So like people, what they think like, oh, he painted his nails, like oh, he's weird. Like I don't know. It's a long list of things, but like I don't really care to clear any of them up because it doesn't bother me, you know. But I do want to say I definitely like my daughter is my world and I love her. Yeah. So like all you bitches at home, you soulless, spineless whores who always worry about me and mine. We're good. And it is. It changed my life. And I always feel like I could do better and do more. And I'm very grateful to the woman who I brought the child into this world with because she is such a strong individual and she is just like a really great person. I couldn't have asked for a better partner in that experience. You know, I was truly blessed from above to have, even though the situation didn't go ideal, like she is just a good person to watch over my child while I'm working and I'm away. You know, I don't have any doubts like that she's doing any weird shit or like, you know, like she's respectful and she's smart and like she's level-headed. So I'm grateful.
I'm really happy for you.
Yeah, thank you.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
A luxury you can't live without.
See, this is when I'm gonna sound bougie. But
you like, got a lot of them now. Yeah, it's all right to like them too.
I know.
You could like them.
I know. The luxury you can't live without. Man, like I say,
just say it. Hey, you know what it is.
Like,
We trying to be humble.
I mean, it's a lot of things. I don't know. Like I like cool shit. Like I like really big showers, and I feel like I couldn't live without multiple shower heads or like heated floors. Or like I couldn't live without a door without a keypad because I can't keep keys. Like I lost every key to my house. I lose my car keys all the time. When I get a hotel, I just give the keys to my assistant and security. Oh no. My assistant. I could not live without my assistant. That's number one.
She's A1. See, she was A1.
Yeah, without my assistant, I would be a lost child. And she is genuinely like my big sister / second mom.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, cause we're like, she's not that much older than me, but she is just like the guidance and the structure that I just don't have time to have. So like the luxury is having, I got 2 assistants, but my main assistant, my head assistant is like, man, she keeps me so on track. Like I never miss flights, and like I'm always attentive, and like, you know, I know what time to be here, and I'm here, and like she just keep me, you know, they patient with me, and they wake me up, and they know like I take forever to get out of bed, but they know me so well, they wake me up early enough to boot up like a fucking old Dell computer, like to like get up and get out the bed and make it on time. They wake me up early enough to know like I need to be here. So like definitely my assistant. Shouts out to Maddie.
What is the worst fashion trend of all time?
Man, I'm weird. I like a lot of shit that people like. Like, I like the era of wearing big ass suits. I thought it was funny. Like when we was wearing big ass suits, like basketball players.
I don't
and
even
shit.
own a suit.
Really? I didn't either for a long time.
I want one.
I have a couple now, but I didn't for a long time. I like weird shit. Like I like the football jerseys and like.
Worst one was emoji joggers.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Emoji fits.
Yeah, I forgot
that
about
was terrible.
Screen printed sweatsuits.
Hot Cheetos jumpsuit.
Hot Cheeto. Oh man, noodles, ramen noodles. Oh man, yeah.
No, that's terrible.
No, that's it. That's it. Screen printed sweatsuits.
Bad.
All over print sweatsuits were always terrible. Full Coca-Cola outfit. Like,
Yeah.
Brother, like you are.
Who is an artist that deserves their flowers?
Tierwhack, Tizo Touchdown. But I think Tierwhack, man. Tierwhack is one of the best rappers I've ever heard in my entire life. And she is so creative and so intelligent and just, yeah, Tierwhack.
Shout out to Tier.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrity crush growing up.
For the longest, it was like India Love. She was not really a celebrity. She was like...
She was the first online baddie. Like
she was. India Love was like my first crush for a long time. And I used to like Ariana Grande too when she was on... What show was she on Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon joint?
Victorious. And she had the red hair.
I was Vanessa Hudgens, bro. I love Vanessa Hudgens.
Vanessa Hudgens is she's dope
High School
too.
Musical.
I wasn't into Vanessa Hudgens, but like she was a very beautiful woman
Vanessa
too.
Hudgens, crazy.
Yeah. She just got married, I think. Well, she might have been married for a minute now, but yeah.
Yeah, she is. And
Yeah.
He in the MLB. He got some money.
Yeah, MLB players. You can't fuck with another
All right.
players.
Last question. Who had the best verse on the 2016 XXL freestyle?
Probably lyrically Denzel Curry, but we ain't talking about lyrics. We talking about
Lyrically, he's a conscious rapper.
I think lyrically he probably had the verse that made the most sense. But I think I liked 21's verse the best. That was a good time. That was so long ago, man. We were kids. And like, I'll never forget that day, that experience. And just like, cause you don't know who's gonna be there, you know? You like, back then it was like a big thing. So like, it was like, I just was like so excited and nervous, and you didn't know, like I knew, like I had an idea, obviously Uzi probably would have been there, probably 21. But that was probably the only 2 out in my head, like probably be there, but like you just didn't know. So as you come in, you see it, and you're like, oh shit, like, oh, okay, oh,
yeah.
Like, you know, that type of thing. So, but that was a good time, you know. I don't believe that the XXL cover is what it used to be, but that was a good time, you know.
Yeah.
And you were just so young and, you know, finding shit out. But yeah.
Now that was a time.
Yeah.
Bro, I was junior in high school. That shit was wild seeing y'all up there, bro.
Damn, yeah.
All right,
was
I'm gonna bring this mirror
crazy.
over. I'm gonna finish up.
What we got? Let's see.
All right, before I show you the mirror, man,
Okay.
I just want to tell you that I'm really grateful to be able to have shared this moment with you, watch you during my whole high school,
Yeah,
growing
it's
up
real.
here. Always been inspiration, so thank you for the vulnerability,
Always.
words of wisdom,
Yes, sir.
and yeah, this means a lot to me, bro. So
All right. It's love.
yeah, you know, bro.
Yes, sir. Oh man, I fucking hate it. Nah, man,
right.
It's great. I'm beautiful. I always think like when I get a haircut, I just feel like, man, like it's what can you say to me? Like, damn, like
You're on the first 48 right now.
damn, I'm looking like a fucking snack and a fucking candy bar. So hey, I love it, man. The most confidence comes from a fresh cut.
No other better feeling.
No
other better feeling.
No, man, nah, hell no. I love it. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Yachty here. We just wrapped on the episode with Vic, and I just want to say that I am grateful that there are people who are using their platform to inspire and touch people. You are making a lane for people who never realized that they could take whatever they're doing, whatever that craft is, and make it bigger than life. You're changing people, making people happy. I mean, look at how good I look. Like, I'm fucking beautiful. So you did that. You know, actually, my mom and my dad did it, but you helped today. So thank you, and much love on your continued success.
What's good? We just got done shooting the episode with Yachty. I just want to say thank you to Yachty for pulling up and just blessing the show with your presence, with your knowledge, with your vulnerability. Thank you for inspiring me damn near since I was a kid, all the way from high school to where I'm at now, just with your authenticity, your creativity, and all the work that you've been putting out, just to shift culture and do it in your own way. I'm forever grateful for you in this moment, man. And to everybody out there, as always, stay planted. See y'all soon.